Great evening, everybody. Welcome to the OHIO podcast roundtable discussion. You know what? Given today's topic, I decided we were going to go old school here. The roundtable is more of a shuffleboard between Chris and I. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to talk about some things tonight. I have a lot on my mind I want to talk about. And when I have a lot on my mind, I don't want to have three other people that I'm trying to wrestle with to get more speaking time. So we're going to make this a two-man show today. Hop in the back seat, everybody. Eric's driving the car. Chris is in the passenger seat. Things could get interesting today as we bring up the most recent news for Ohio State. Before we dive into Ted Carter, let's go ahead and smash that like button, everybody. If you're listening to this after the fact, thanks for clicking on the video. Smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Less than 80 people away from 7,800 subscribers. We would love to hit that number at some point during spring practice. Heck, shoot, Chris, we got to get over 7,800 before the spring game, right?
I want 8,000 by the time we hit the spring game.
8,000 by the spring game.
8,000. That's only a little more than 200.
280.
So, guys, share this with your friends. Get them to come on, subscribe, follow us. Get them to hit us up on Patreon. Get them to come out to our big spring game extravaganza. Just get these guys involved. Help us create the biggest and best Buckeye community in all of football.
Thank you, Tyler. Tyler says just smash that like button. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Make sure you're doing that as well. Shrockstar says Eric's driving Mr. Crazy, not Miss Daisy. I don't have a very good Morgan Freeman impersonation, but there you have it. Guys, make sure also, if you're listening to this after the fact, if you're listening to the audio version, thank you so much. We appreciate all of you who download and listen to the OHIO podcast from your streaming services each and every single day. We really, really appreciate you all. Go ahead and share the show with your friends as well. Share us on your social media. Share us with your coworkers. Share us with your family. You got someone you know who's crazy about Ohio State football. Share the show with them because we are absolutely crazy about Ohio State, man. All right. Interesting news to wake up to this morning, Chris. President Ted Carter has turned in his resignation to the board at Ohio State following information that apparently he provided that he had an inappropriate relationship. He's a married man of 40 years, and this relationship apparently was not that. And so he has resigned as immediately as the presidency of Ohio State. Now, this has got a lot of avenues to travel down. Number one, what happened, why, all of that. We'll get to as much as that as we can. Number two, what kind of inappropriate relationship was this? Again, we don't know all of the details. We do know some things. We will tell you about them. Number three, this creates a vacancy. And we've got some names for you tonight that we will reveal thanks to our insider, Buck Vader. He was on the job today, working hard, making phone calls, talking to people who are connected to board members. We got the scoop for you guys tonight. So we'll be presenting that as well. So those are the three things we want to cover when it comes to this story. And then number four tonight, guys, we're on the eve of spring football beginning tomorrow. Before I forget, tomorrow, when Ryan Day goes live during his press conference, we will cover it live and react to it in real time here on the OHIO podcast. I'm assuming it's going to be sometime around 11 to noon. Sometime in that window, we will hear from Ryan Day following practice number 1 of spring ball. So we will be here to cover it for you all. As soon as we know something, you guys will know it and we will cover it. All right. So here's what we know. Ted Carter had an inappropriate relationship. What does that mean? I am assuming it was an extramarital affair of some kind. What does that look like? What are the details to that? No one knows right now. It was bad enough that he felt, being the man that he was, he no longer could hold the position of president at the university. And so he went and told the board, I've had an inappropriate relationship. I need to step down. Number one, I want to say, although bad on you for doing this, good on you for admitting it and not trying to cover it up and dragging the university's name through the mud, similar to what we see happen every single time up in Ann Arbor. At least you were a man to say, I messed up and I should step down. So there's that. I will say that. Chris, do you want to address any of that before we move on?
Well, I have read reports, Eric, slightly to the contrary. And I don't know how accurate they are. I just caught a couple of them right before we came on the air. First of all, I think we do need to define exactly what the nature of the relationship was, something that we don't know right now.
Correct.
That I think is going to be a big issue. And was it indeed an extramarital affair, or was it just a inappropriate business relationship?
And that very good
that
point.
Could be the question. Also,
yes,
I have seen reports that said someone had reported to the board this conduct, and the board confronted him, and that's when he did come forward and admit, yes, this is what I did. Yes, I do need to resign. So I don't know how accurate that is. Vader might be able to shine more light on that because he, like you said, he does have the contacts in the know. But this was just based on a report that I read just prior to coming on the air. And I'm trying. I believe it was in the Dispatch, if I'm not mistaken, that I read the article from.
See if you can find that, because I did see something where it said that that the university was going to be conducting an investigation. And the reason behind their investigation, Chris, was they wanted to know what information this individual who had this relationship with Mr. Carter, what information this individual was privy to that might be information that they then as a university have to notify certain individuals, hey, this person has your information. So
yeah, according to the Columbus Dispatch, an unnamed source came to the Board of Trustees recently to tell them of Carter's inappropriate relationship. And this is according to the university spokesman, Ben Johnson. The board confronted Carter about this, prompting Carter to disclose it and offer his resignation, which the board accepted.
Yeah.
So that is according to the Columbus Dispatch.
And I want to reiterate, Ted admitted and resigned, says Mickey.
Yes.
Or Mikey. Mikey.
Correct. He didn't fight it. He didn't lie about it.
Nope. So this story's got legs. It's not going to go away because what else does this individual know now? And who is this individual that this business person that had this relationship with Ted Carter? When we see an inappropriate relationship, immediately we all think that of the sexual nature. And that might be, we still don't know.
Correct.
But the fact that this person who was a business person apparently has information about the university and or students, that seems to be the concern of the university at this time.
So, and this is a university statement based on the declaration from Ted Carter. He had inappropriate relationship with someone seeking state resources to support her personal business.
Interesting.
So does that kind of indicate that maybe this was more a business inappropriate relationship versus a personal? It further goes on to say Johnson didn't know if the relationship was romantic, but they are going to investigate.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and Lisa's right. She says our last president also left after a scandal as well. Yes, she did. And I liked her too. Buck Vader says I heard in the last hour it wasn't an affair, but I haven't confirmed it yet. Now, that's all. Yeah, Sage, I was wondering the same thing, dude. I
Yeah.
think it's money or an insider tip of some kind.
Yes.
And there was a really weird political figure who made a post about a month ago that I found today about Ted Carter and Ohio State. And I was like, that is a really interesting comment for a politician to make. I don't trust politicians. Can you tell? There's only one
Well,
politician I trust. Only
you
one.
shouldn't trust politicians. None of them. I mean, the fact is this. You know what they call 100 politicians at the bottom of the ocean, right? A good start.
A good start. Um, is Jim Republican or Democrat? I think
Republican.
Republican. I think.
Truss is a Republican. DeWine, because DeWine's Republican.
Right. Correct. Yeah, but he says, I I think. Okay. Yeah, because he said Jim. Yeah,
Truss is an Ohioan.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. We'll get to him in just a second. Okay. So, monkey in the room. You're all gonna hear it. I've already heard it from Michigan fans. Throwing rocks in glass houses. This is not the same at all. There's no cover up happening here.
No butter
There's
knives
no
involved.
there's no butter knives involved. No one is being arrested. Um, no one was even fired. There was a resignation made because of an embarrassment, and um, there you go. That's it. And the way I look at it, we handled it properly. It was handled properly. So Michigan fans can just whine and cry all they want to try to make themselves feel better. When they say things like this, they're trying to make themselves feel better because they know their program is dirty and guilty. That's what this is all
And
about.
here's the thing, Eric. You mentioned Ohio State took care of it the right way. So did Ted Carter. That's the big thing.
Yeah. Yep, 100%. Now, let me read Buck Vader's update for all of you. This is insider information. You all saw this over on Patreon if you're a Patreon member. So here we go. Let's read it. After the surprise resignation of Ohio State University President Ted Carter, I'm beginning to hear some smoke about possible replacements. First, I would like to address the scarlet and gray elephant. Jim Tressel has asked to not be considered due to his age. He's 73 years old, by the way. I looked it up. And he has had two very demanding jobs recently without a break. He was the Youngstown State President, and now he is the Lieutenant Governor of Ohio. Both John Kasich and Marcia Fudge are extremely interested due to being alumni of Ohio State, but both are 75, so they would be a short-term replacement. The early frontrunner is Gregory Crawford, a 60-year-old from Ohio, the current president of Miami of Ohio, former vice president of Notre Dame, former dean of engineering at Brown University. My source is extremely high on him. And if I'm not mistaken, this source is either on or connected with someone who is on the board. Ohio State is expected to conduct a national search. I, of course, will keep everyone posted here on Patreon. So if you want to keep up to date and you want all this information in real time delivered to you over on Patreon, become a Patreon member and you will get that kind of information from Buck Vader. All right. I'm not going to lie. I want Jim Tressel. I want the sweater vest as president. Now, a lot of people say Ohio State would never consider it for two reasons. Number one, he's not a doctor. He doesn't have a doctorate in front of his name. Number two, he was released as head coach and forced to resign as head coach at Ohio State when he was here. Here's what I have to say about that. Different era today, baby. Completely different era today. Would have never have been even an issue in today's game. Number two, I don't care that he doesn't have a doctor in front of his name. People are given doctorates by universities all the time.
Yep.
All the time.
Honoraries, yep.
Honorary doctorates, right? If you want a doctor in front of his name that bad, give him one. Give him one. You have that power, Ohio State. He has experience as a president at Youngstown State. He's the freaking lieutenant governor of the state of Ohio. The dude bleeds scarlet and gray. He is the perfect candidate to be president of Ohio State University. Perfect. He's the stopgap. He's not going to be here for 10 years. He's 73 years old. He'll give you 1 to 2 years filling in the gap, be a great president for the students, for the athletic department, for the hospital, OSU hospital. He would be great for all of those things. He would be a money-raising phenom for you. And everybody in the state of Ohio loves the man. He is perfect for the job, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked about a stopgap, and I know it's a little bit, what isn't quite as prolonged. I think he could give you 1 to 3 years. Very reminiscent of what Gordon Gee did coming back the second time. Although he was around for, I think, about 5 years that second run. 5 to 6 years. But, Tress, like you said, proven commodity as a successful president of a mid-sized public university.
Yep.
He's a guy who has already shown that he can stabilize a campus. He is a guy who we know can raise money. Eric, given everything going on in today's athletics, let's not forget he is a guy who has shown he can work with legislators.
Yeah.
And he also gives you a lot of credibility based upon his, not just his tenure as president, but his tenure as a coach. And honestly, I don't know that anybody bleeds scarlet and gray more than Jim Tressel.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think he would be the perfect university president.
The current executive vice president at Ohio State is Ravi Bellamkonda. Bellamkonda. Good luck on that pronunciation, last name. But Ravi, R-A-V-I, is his first name. More than likely, Ravi is going to be put in as interim president currently. But if I had the ear of the board, or one of them clicks on this video, for the love of God, turn on the bat signal. It's going to look like a sweater vest when you turn it on. Jim's going to see it. I know Ed says, look, man, Jim's already said that he's too old. I understand that.
But he's not going to be the guy.
Jim will change his mind if he sees and hears from the university, we need you.
Yes.
He would. He would do it. He would say, man, I think I'm too old, but if you guys really need me and want me, he'll be there tomorrow.
I mean, you think he really wanted to be the lieutenant governor, Eric? I don't think that was ever his goal, was to be a lieutenant governor. I think that DeWine and other members of the state reached out to him and said, listen, you are the kind of guy we need. We need you. The state needs you. And maybe they guilt tripped him a little bit into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's somebody who loves this state. He loves this university. And I think you're right. I think he would definitely answer.
He says, is it a prerequisite for to be a president of the university needing a doctorate, Eric or Chris? No, he didn't need one at Youngstown State.
I don't believe. Now, here's the thing. I don't know the actual university charter. I will say this. I don't know that it is a prerequisite. However, it has historically been the case.
Yes. Yeah. So what do you think about any of those names that Vader pulled up? First off, John Kasich, no thank you.
No thank you.
Not interested. Marcia Fudge, no thank you. Not interested. Gregory Crawford, current president of Miami of Ohio. I don't know anything about the guy. I love Ted Carter, dude. I'm just
I did
being.
too.
I thought he was the perfect president. This is very disappointing from that perspective because he was the perfect dude, man. He was a man's man. He was freaking Top Gun, for goodness sakes, right?
Yeah.
So
And Eric,
disappointing that this is
I mean,
happening.
you look at this, and I think we talked about age being an issue with Tress. I think we're going to see that a lot of the better candidates' age is going to be an issue.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anybody but Drake, dude. Who was the president when Urban Meyer was head coach? That was Drake. No, not him, man. Anybody but Drake.
You
He
know,
was the
and I like
worst.
Christine Johnson as well, and she was Dr. Amy Acton. I believe she's actually running for
She's
governor, is she
running for
not?
governor. Yeah, she's running for governor. She's going to be running up against Vivek Ramaswamy. She's the Democrat ticket and he's the Republican ticket on the ballot.
And I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to get into discussing politics or things like that on here right now. Um, I will say this: I am not typically somebody who votes Democrat. I like Amy Acton.
I think she would do a good job promoting the university
I
hospital.
agree.
I think
And
she would
given
do
her
a good job
medical
with that.
background, I think she's somebody who could probably bring in a lot of wealthy investors for the medical program.
Yeah. Uh, Vader saying Carter didn't have a PhD.
There you go.
Well, there. People were saying, what about the Podfather? No, thank you. I have zero
Santa
desire to
Ono's
run for
looking for a
president.
job, Eric.
That would be the funniest troll job ever, dude, if he became president of Ohio State.
I think
I
that
would
would be
hate it.
like
I would hate it.
driving the car off the cliff, so to speak. I don't think anybody wants to do that to this program. Um, yeah, I mean,
I would
y-
hate that, dude. On so many. I would almost want Drake back before him. That's how much I would hate
yeah.
it. And I think Drake was the worst president in the history of my lifetime at Ohio State. Who was president when you were mine was Gee.
Gee,
Yeah. The bow ties and everything.
I was
Flippity,
in
right?
there when he came around for round two.
I was there under round one. Yeah.
You know, and I actually got some good pictures with Gordon Gee. I got to go and I was president of the student government. I was the student member of the board of trustees at the Marion campus, and I had the opportunity to, on several occasions, actually meet with Gordon Gee.
I could do the athletic director's job before I could do the president's job. Because I don't like politics, guys. So I couldn't do the president's job. No way. I would hate every second of it, I think. But I could do athletic director's job. I think I would actually do pretty good at that. To be honest with you. I mean, what's the athletic director's main job, right? Hiring and firing coaches
Yep.
and building facilities, raising money to build facilities, right? The facilities are pretty much already built. You know, Gene
Yeah.
Smith did that. I mean, the shoe needs revamped, obviously, and shout out Ross Bjork. He's getting that done a little bit at a time. But yeah, if I was president of the of Ohio State University, what would be the first thing I would do? Ooh. I tell you what I would do. I think it would be very popular. I would take down Les Wexner's name off buildings. Be the first thing I would do.
You'd instantly be
Immediately.
very popular with a lot
I
of people.
immediately take him down.
So you know one name that I haven't heard, and I don't know if he's somebody who could ever be in the mix. It's somebody who's at a Big Ten institution, which I think is something good. Somebody who's in in a Midwestern state. He's a guy who he's recently, for his university where he's at now, done some great job with fundraising. Recently made a tremendous coaching hire, or his athletic director did. What about Kevin? I'm going to butcher this last name. Guskowitz.
Never heard
He
of
is the president at Michigan State University.
him.
He is 59 years old. He is very highly thought of. I mean, I know we don't like things from that team up or that state up north, but he's a guy that went to the University of
wasn't
Virginia, went to Pitt.
wasn't there a former president that went to like Washington or Washington State? Like he was a no, I'm thinking athletic directors who I was thinking. Forget his name now. I think he's at Washington. Washington's athletic director. That's who I'm thinking of. He wasn't. He wasn't a president.
Now there was
Patrick
Washington's.
Chung.
Yeah, Washington's president actually used to be the president at Illinois, and he was very, very successful at Illinois, and that's Robert J. Jones. But he is somebody who, like Tress, is up there in age. He's 75 years old. Probably not somebody you're going to want to bring in as a long term.
Yeah.
And I don't know that he's going to want to leave the University of Washington where he just began in 2025. So I really think that the guy from Michigan State would be somebody who should be considered. Who just put, how about Gene Smith? Is that Schrock? Schrock, yeah. Don't be an idiot. Come on, man. You're better than that.
Sean told me he was going to poke the bear tonight with that one. He told me he would. He goes, watch you. He's like, Chris will go off.
I'm trying to keep my blood pressure down right now. They just had to put me on beta blockers, so let's not put me through the ceiling. All right, guys?
Oh my gosh. Did he? No, you didn't. Sean's just trolling now, man. He's just trolling. Oh my gosh. Mika says, don't make me hurt you, Sean. She's going to roll. She's going to drive over you and then back it up on top of you and spin the tires out, buddy. Keep it up. This is a story, like I said, it's not going to be going away. It's going to be around. It's going to linger for a little while. Follow us over on Patreon. Vader will have you covered. He's on the job. He's got great insiders, great information. So you heard it here. Jim Tressel basically said he's not interested. When I go to bed tonight and I say my prayers, I'm going to ask the Lord to change Jim's mind. Is that bad of me? I want. What about here you go. What about the one we just had? She resigned.
Yeah, Christine Johnson.
Yeah, what if she's like, you know what?
I liked her a lot.
I did. I liked her too.
She was very ballsy during the COVID thing.
Oh, yes.
She's like, well, we'll just go somewhere else and play.
She was more ballsy in most of the other universities in Big Ten, period. Most of the men. Yeah. I liked her. She was a former volleyball player. She understood athletics. Whatever, Nevader. Oh, man. Yeah, exciting next few weeks, March Madness. Hey, let's do this. As we transition over to our second topic, let me announce to everybody, over on Patreon, all Patreon members, even the free members, will be eligible to enter our March Madness tournament bracket. Chris, are you ready for the prize for the winner?
What's the prize for the winner? Let me guess. The prize for the winner is that Ohio State is going to hire Kevin Warren as their
Never
president.
Karen Warren. She can stay there. The prize for winning the NCAA March Madness bracket for the OHIO podcast will be a free 1-year membership to Patreon.
Nice.
Bought and paid for right there. You win, you're going to get a free membership on Patreon for an entire year.
Now, is that the $5 membership, Eric?
That's the $5 membership. That's a $60 value. Now, if you're already a member and you're already paying, guess what? You'll get the whole year free. Or you get the upgrade. You will be getting an OHIO podcast membership hat, and you'll be getting a free copy of the magazine. And here's what's great. Nice. We've got new hats on their way. Just ordered them today.
Did we go with the other color?
We did. We're going with red.
Love it.
Going with Scarlet. Scarlet hats will be on their way. So that's the big news, everybody. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Dr. Podfather. What's the first thing you think of, Chris, if you go to the
Well,
doctor's office and that
here's
walks in to your
first
waiting to
thing
the
is
room?
first things first. Um, and I don't want to sound disparaging here, but I'm going to. Uh, Having worked at Ohio State, I can tell you this. The minute they put PhD behind your name, you instantly lose 100 IQ points. I mean, these guys couldn't even run a copying machine. I ought to have Bobby come on here and tell you about some of these guys. Some of these
Wow.
yahoos that were professors at Ohio State, because man, talk about all those book smarts and no common sense. That's typically what you saw.
I have a PhD in potting. Ah, shoot.
But if I ever see you coming at me with a stethoscope, Eric, I'm going to run the other way. I'm not going to lie. If you snap on them rubber gloves, they better be for Bart.
Oh, shoot. Oh, my gosh. No. Second place gets a picture of Eric in a Speedo. Gosh, no. Heck, no. Uh, oh, my. I'm a I think instead of a proctologist, I would be a podologist. Is that what?
No,
Oh, shoot. Okay.
this is
Um,
going in a bad direction, Eric.
yeah,
We should turn this now.
let's do that. Let's get this ship turned around. All right, so that's the announcement about March Madness, everybody. We're gonna have over on Patreon. We'll have a place for you to sign up, fill out your sheet of integrity, and winner gets some awesome prizes over there, man. And it's gonna be open for free members too. So even if you don't have the money and don't want to support us financially and become a $5 member over on Patreon, sign up for free and be a part of that free message board, and you have a chance now to win yourself 1 year free membership over on Patreon. So someone's going to be the big winner over there. Now, like I said at the beginning of the show, I'll remind everybody now, tomorrow, Vader said he thinks around 11:30, Ryan Day will be speaking to the media. We will cover it live tomorrow here on the OHIO podcast. So make sure you're dialed in, ring the bell, get notified so you don't miss it. When it goes live, we go live. And we're going to cover it, and you'll hear the audio of Ryan Day. We will pause it, and we will respond in real time to what Ryan Day says during the press coverage tomorrow, during his interview after day one of spring practice. So, since tomorrow's day one of spring practice, Chris, let's talk about what we want to see, what we want to hear. Obviously, there's certain aspects of this team that you're not going to get an answer to this spring. You're just not. You're not going to get an answer to them. But number one on my list is the number 2 and 3 wide receiver positions, the slot and the number 2 wide receiver. Who's going to be replacing, uh, you know, who's going to be replacing all those catches that I almost said Caleb Downs, Carnell Tate had this year. That is number one on my bucket list. Is it Chris Henry? Is it Jerkaden Guilford? Is it
Devin McEwen?
Someone else that's already on the roster that's not a freshman? It's going to be, I think, the most interesting position battle that will go into the fall. I don't think you're going to get a true answer on that position until the fall. But that is number one on my list, is that position, because just about everything else about this offense is wrapped up. They're back. The running backs, back. Offensive line, 4 starters, back. Now, where they end up playing on the offensive line, that remains to be seen, but they're 4 starters back. Quarterback, back. Tight ends, not back, but there's a lot of them to choose from, and it's the tight end position.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, Eric, because for me, I think that's going to be something I'm going to be very interested to see is that tight end position. When you consider Arthur Smith comes in as a guy who heavily used tight ends in his offenses in the NFL. Are we going to see a more tight end involved offense? Now, that's going to very much concern me. I think if we do, but also may be a great opportunity. But at the same time, I think Arthur Smith may be. I mean, and obviously you're not going to see everything day one. You're not going to see everything in the spring. But is he bringing in a coherent identity? Is he going to make tight ends a priority? Or is he going to make them, and it also ran as far as receiving and just use them to strengthen the run game structure? What are we going to see? How is he planning to do this? But I mean, I think the big thing is Arthur Smith, does he come in and has he established a coherent identity right out of the gate? And how you're going to be able to tell this, I think, is how much you see him using the tight ends as receivers during the spring drills. Are they going to be used primarily as blockers? Or are they going to be more involved in the passing game? Now, you got guys coming in like the transfers, Hunter Welsing, Mason Williams. You got Nate Roberts, who's a legitimate target. I think we've got just a lot of guys there, like you said. But how are we going to use them? Is it going to be, is Nate the number one? There's so many questions in that tight end room. A lot of talent, a lot of questions.
Yeah, Tyler says, Ben, I'm kind of happy to in a way that we're having an open competition at the 2 and 3 receiver positions because,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, iron sharpens iron, 100%.
Do you think the number one position secure?
Does the Earth rotate around the sun in the middle of the Milky Way? Yeah, it's secure. It's the most secure position. That is the most secure position on the football team, hands down, including quarterback, which is probably the number 2 most secure position on the team. So yeah. W Buck says if Ennis has his best year and gets drafted within the second round gives the new wide receiver coach a lot of credible development skills. Yeah, absolutely, man. Ennis was serviceable last year. He was not a weapon.
He's been a victim of this system, is what it is, Eric.
What do you mean by that? Come on, dude.
He has been a victim of the system.
The slot receiver has been a stud at Ohio State.
I understand that, but under what we've seen recently, under Chip Kelly, under his style of offense, under what we saw last year out of the offense under Hartline, those outside receivers were getting a majority of the shots. You said it yourself during many games. How often did Julian not even look to Ennis and he's standing there wide open? He has been a victim of the system that Ohio State has been playing. And it's tragic because this is a guy who I do believe has NFL talent.
No, we are not the center of the Milky Way. We're actually on the edge.
That is correct.
I am not a space guy. I've never been there. How do you know? Have you been there? I've never been there.
I got a library full of books, Eric.
In fact, I don't think anybody's been there. I'm just kidding. Tinfoil hat, anybody? I love conspiracy theories. My former boss's brother worked for NASA, so I've seen and heard some pretty cool things, man. All right. What about the offensive line being shuffled around, Chris? Your thoughts?
You know what? I'm interested to see how it plays out. Um, do we have a coherent idea of what we are going to see? Um, is Padilla going to be at right guard? Is that the intent?
Center, maybe?
Or is he going to be center and we're going to kick Hensman back out to guard?
Is Ian
Which
Moore
I
going to
think
let. If Ian Moore's the starting left tackle, then you can kick Austin Severveld to right tackle, and then you can kick what's his name who played right tackle last year, Philip Daniels,
Daniels.
in at right guard.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity because I'll tell you, I think that the one good thing we have is flexibility. It's something that Brian Day's been preaching is that versatility. I love what we've got here. I'm anxious to see how it kind of shakes out. I think we were all a little disappointed last year at the way things ended. And I think the question is, are we going to be able to improve on what we saw the last two games of last season?
One more offensive thing to say. Turbo Rogers at running back. You got two running backs who are boo-booed for the spring. You're not going to see Bo Jackson. You're not going to see Isaiah West. This is Turbo Rogers' opportunity to make hay. And oh yeah, by the way, don't forget about the legend. Legend Bay will be in the running back room as well, learning and getting a lot of carries. Apparently, favorite key is the new saddle in that running back room. Chris, you know exactly what I mean by that. Coach Locke is riding him.
Yep.
And it's by design, people. If you are Patreon members, you know exactly why he's doing it.
That means he's got confidence in the young man. He's got confidence in his ability, and he's going to.
I'm going to pull it out of you, or you're going to quit. One of the two.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. Yeah, I'm excited about that running back room. Just see who the. I mean, because we are legitimately, I think, seeing who's going to be the number 3 guy right now. Turbo, though, I'm going to tell you right now, if Turbo comes out and has a huge spring and summer practice, he could slide into that number 2 ahead of Isaiah West.
It was week 3 last year when the number 3 running back became the number 1 running back.
Yes.
Y'all remember that?
Yes.
You need to have, Woody Hayes would call it, you need a pair and a spare. When the spare gets put on and all of a sudden has more tread than the pair, you ride it. So this is Turbo Rogers' opportunity. He's fast. He got coached up last year hard. He's ready. Obviously, year number 3 in the system for Julian Sain. If he takes another step forward, which is every indication that is exactly
he's going to be the number 1 pick if he takes another step forward.
then expectations through the roof, right? I know it's a tough schedule.
77%.
I know it's a very difficult schedule, and there are people out there who say, "Man, 9-3 or 8-4 is possible," and I get that. But if that man, Julian Sain, takes another step forward, my gosh, this offense has the potential of being electric.
Absolutely. Julian, we already know him as one of the most accurate passers in the game, 77% completion rating. But he had moments last year where he looked like a first-year starter. Some of his interceptions were ugly. I think he's going to be better this year. It's hard to improve on 77%.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I'm not going to put it past him.
Hey, I'll take 70% if he's throwing for 400 yards a game and 4 touchdowns a game.
Absolutely.
I'll take a lower percentage if it means we're offensively kicking it up a gear.
Yes.
And are harder to defend. So I'm not enamored by the whole 77% percentage, 80. Can he get to 80? Like, so what? Can you get to 12-0 again? Can you get to 11-1 and play for a Big Ten championship?
Right.
Can you go into Bloomington, Indiana, and take out Kurt Signetti and the Hoosiers in their home stadium? Can you go to Austin, Texas, and take down Texas again next year. Can we score more than 14 points? We're going to have to score more than 14 points against Texas this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
These are the questions. Can you beat Oregon at home in their quests for the championship? Oregon is the media darling right now in the offseason.
And they should be. Let's call it what it is, Eric. It's their turn. By all rights, it's their turn. They're the team this year that has all those experienced players coming back. They're the team this year that has the quarterback that everybody's loving on. They've got the coach who's been within a whisker the last couple of years of greatness. So yeah, I mean, it is their turn. I understand why he's they're the media darlings, but I'm going to tell you, I think one big thing stands in the way of Curt Cignetti repeating. I think one big thing stands in the way of Oregon getting there. I think that one big thing stands in the way of that team up north reachieving relevance. And that one big thing, Eric, was our biggest, I would say, reacquisition of the offseason. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to, and that is, what is Matt Patricia going to do with this, I guess, loaded but very unexperienced defense this year? I mean, we got to replace, obviously, defensive back is someplace we got to be concerned.
Oh, yeah. You're replacing Caleb Downs.
You're replacing Caleb Downs. You're replacing Iggy, who had a phenomenal season last year.
Yes, he did. You're replacing 2 starting linebackers who are going to get picked in the first 7 picks of the NFL draft.
You're replacing a defensive tackle that I believe is going to get into the first round.
And you're replacing a defensive end who was really the heart and soul of the front side of your defense, the defensive line, and Caden Curry, who at times last year was the best player on the field, and that included Caleb Downs.
Yeah, the Cadens at times were just unstoppable. But I think that we're going to be pleasantly surprised. And I'm telling you, Eric, one of the things you talked about the linebackers. I cannot wait to see the freshman.
Sincere
Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to make an impact? Is he going to make an impact on
Yes.
special teams, maybe?
Yes.
Is he going to get some playing time on that field? I think he gets in there in mop-up time. This is a guy who I think has the ability to come out there and be the next Arvell or Sonny. He has that. He has that motor. He has that drive. He has that physical attributes. I am really excited to see Sincere Johnson starting.
How about the fact that I forget which one of the 2 linebackers was asked the question, but they said Peyton Pierce is an absolute beast.
That was Arvell, I believe.
Was it Arvell? Okay.
It was Arvell.
If Peyton Pierce is an absolute beast, sign me up for that. I know that there's a lot of people who think Riley Pettijohn is going to get that other starting linebacker position. I think he's in line for it first. He better make hay, because if he doesn't, I'm here to tell you right now, Sincere Johnson will take that spot as a true freshman.
Yeah.
He's that good. I made a comment the other day, and I'm going to stand by it. I think Sincere Johnson is the best linebacker to come out of Northeast Ohio since Chris Spielman.
Wow.
I think he's
that's a big statement, Eric.
I know that's a huge statement. I think he's the best linebacker to come out of Northeast Ohio since Chris Spielman. Do you know who came out of Northeast Ohio recently? He's going to be picked in the first top 10 pick.
Arvell.
In fact, went to the same high school as Sincere.
Yeah.
Arvell Reese did. But everybody will tell you Sincere is further along in his development at this point of his career than what Arvell was.
You know, Eric, and we talk about Sincere, we talk about Riley, we talk about Peyton, but let's not forget, and Sean mentioned it, what about TJ Halford? What about Garrett Stover, a guy who's been waiting his time? What about, fresh other redshirt freshmen like Eli Lee? What about Christian Allegro, the transfer? These are all guys who are going to push each other.
Yeah.
And they are going to make each other better. And you can better believe Matt Patricia and James Laurinaitis are going to put the two players on the field who give Ohio State the best chance to win right out of the gate.
And what if we end up playing 3 linebackers more than 5 defensive backs? Because, oh yeah, Matt Patricia can run multiple defenses. He's not a one defensive set type of guy. So if he says, look, our best way to win is putting 3 linebackers out there as opposed to 5 defensive backs, I think he'll do that.
And I think there are teams that will be better suited.
Absolutely. Iowa, of course it will. Wisconsin, you better believe
probably
it.
Michigan, to be honest.
Probably Michigan, yes. Here's another thing. Mickey Katzenmoyer was the best ever freshman linebacker. Yes, but he was not from Northeast Ohio. Down. He was from Central Ohio.
Yes.
And he was a scary dude in high school, let me tell you. He was a scary dude in college, but you should have seen him in high school, man. Defensive front, is it Zion Grady time, as Don McClure says? You know, Kenyatta Jackson Jr. is coming back. He's obviously going to be the name on the defensive line front. Is it Zion Grady's turn? Is it his opportunity on the other side of that defensive?
Or will it be Qual-Rasah, the transfer from Alabama?
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
I think you're going to see both of them get significant playing time. As far as who actually starts, I kind of feel like Ryan Day is going to give Zion the chance. Matt Patricia is going to give Zion the chance. Larry Johnson will give Zion the chance. But if he doesn't live up to expectation and show that he can do it right out of the gate, he's going to be relegated to probably the platoon with him splitting time with Qual-Rasah. And then on the other side, of course, you're going to have Kenyatta, but you'll have guys like Bo Atkinson there behind him.
Who played really well in 2024 at North Carolina, man. He was a horse, dude. And they would kick him inside. He can play that Rushman package. And if that's all he does and that's what he brings to the table and it's good, then I'm all for it. Sign me up for it, man. So
and we're talking about the ends, Eric. Let's talk about that interior of that line a little bit too.
Edric Houston, because you're number 3.
You got Edric Houston and Will Smith both returning. Will Smith Jr., who Smith played some decent minutes last year. He showed flashes. He's going to be a redshirt junior this year. But then you got the transfers here again. You've got Smith and you got John Walker. John Walker, is that not one of the best names?
It is a dream name for Ohio State fans when it comes to a drinking game.
So, absolutely. I mean, you've got the transfer from Alabama. You got Smith. You got Walker. This to me, Eric, this is a very well reloaded defense. How quickly can it come together is the question.
Yeah. And then in that secondary,
because they've got a test right out of the gate.
Yes, they do. And in that secondary, you brought in quite a few names, man. Earl Little Jr. from Florida State coming in as a safety. Terry Moore, again, another safety. This one from Duke at corner.
And Moore, Eric, Moore's a guy who had numbers higher. His rating number was higher than that of Caleb Downs 2 years ago. And the question is he back from the injury? Can he repeat the numbers he put up at Duke?
And don't
going
sleep.
From the ACC to the Big Ten.
Don't sleep. my cough's returned this evening. My goodness. Didn't cough all day. And don't sleep on Dominic Kelly, the young corner from Georgia, who really came on the scene late for the Bulldogs last season, played incredibly well, coming to Ohio State with 3 years of eligibility remaining. He could be a sleeper for y'all. So
here's another question as far as the corners go, Eric. If Jermaine isn't performing to expectations, or if Sanchez isn't performing to expectations, I know you've got Kelly. I know you've got Cam Calhoun, the two transfers. Is there any chance we see the true freshman Jay Timmons?
Yes, 100%.
Because we've seen true freshmen hit it big before.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of good freshmen who are going to get playing time because they don't want them to hit the portal. So, there's going to be opportunity for those young men to flash very quickly. And we would be remiss if we didn't end this show by talking about special teams.
yes.
The kicker. We got a kicker in Hawkins. We talked about having him and Connor Hawkins having walk-up music when he goes out there, leaning into it, making kicking great again at Ohio State. That might be, and I kid you not, the biggest offseason acquisition Ryan Day made.
Will it be Hawkins or will it be just hiring special teams coach Robbie Disher? Because I'll tell you what, important. The one might be just as important as the other. I think that Ohio State is showing a renewed interest, a renewed passion for special teams by bringing these guys in, a renewed understanding that you have to win this aspect of the game.
Lisa, I even got something done today that I needed to be done, so all my focus can be on what is happening tomorrow at spring practice. God love you, girl. Love that dedication. So tomorrow, between 11 and noon, we'll be live. We will react in real time to Ryan Day's press conference after practice number 1 tomorrow morning of spring practice at Ohio State. You're not going to want to miss it. Guys, we broke down the main storylines here at Ohio State by position, each position room for you before tomorrow's practice. Hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to head on over to Patreon for the super secret show. Bart's going to be joining us because my cough has come back, and we're going to give you the opportunity to say your piece. I've got something about the president that I didn't talk about. I'm going to talk about it over on Patreon, and then we're going to have a good time over there. We'll see you all over on Patreon, everybody. Have a good night. Go Bucks.